Hello, dear students. I hope you're having a good time at home. And since you are in class 6th, if you have a look at your syllabus in your biology book, you'll find that the very first chapter in your book is Life on Earth. And we are going to start our video lecture with this very first chapter. Okay, so life on Earth. You know that Earth is a planet among the 9 planets in our solar system. And we are going to talk about the life on Earth, life on this very much planet. Okay, if you see around there, you see so many things around you. Okay, you see animals, you see birds, you see chairs, tables, houses, buildings, cars, you see insects, you see butterflies, you see elephants. So many things are around you. Okay, and we can categorically divide all these things into two kinds: living things and non-living things. Okay, now what are living things and what are non-living things, we'll talk about that. Okay, so basically we will discuss about the characteristics of the living things. Characteristics means properties of the living things, and we are going to compare between the living things and the non-living things. Now first characteristic, or now first property shown by the living things, is that living things are made up of cells, which means that all living things, whether insects, birds, butterflies, elephants, human beings, lizard, snake, any living thing. Okay, the basic criteria for any living thing is that living things are made up of cells. In other words, we can say that the cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. Okay, first I will explain you. If you have a look at a wall, it is made up of bricks. You can consider bricks equivalent to the cells. So like those bricks, when compiled together, make a wall. Similarly, the cells make the different parts of a living organism, or we can say make a living organism itself. Okay, so the basic criteria for the living organism is that living things are made up of cells, and no living things are not made up of cells. You see table, chair, car, they are not made up of cells. Okay, now the second property shown by the living things is growth. Have you seen yourself growing since your birth? Okay, at that time you may be weighing around maximum 5 kgs. Okay, and today you are in class 6th, you must be weighing around 30 to 40 kg. It varies between person to person. Anyway, but you showed growth since your birth. Okay, similarly, if you have a look at a tree, its trunk grows in the diameter, its trunk grows thicker, and the plant grows taller. Okay, now there are two kinds of growth. Growth may be definite and it may be indefinite. Human beings, we have a definite growth, means we grow only at a certain phase of our life. Maybe we grow around up to 28 to 30 years, but thereafter we do not grow. Okay, but if you have a look at a plant, it keeps growing throughout their life. The growth in a plant never stops, but it stops in human beings at a certain stage. Anyway, whether they are plants or animals, they show growth, and non-living things do not show growth. Have a look at this marker. Okay, I purchased it from the market yesterday. Okay, it must be around 12 centimeters, 10 to 12 centimeters. And if I will keep it like this for hundreds and thousands of years, it will always be this much small. It will not grow tall. Why? Because this is non-living thing. But we human beings, we show growth. Why? Because we are living things. We were this much tall when we were born, and now we are around, you must be around 4 feet, 5 feet tall. Okay, so we can say that only living things are capable of showing growth, and the non-living things, they are not capable of growth. Okay, now coming to the third characteristics of the living thing is the requirement of the food. Human beings, we require food because we are living things. Have you ever seen a chair or a table, a blackboard or a car eating food? No, because they do not have food requirement. They do not need energy. But we human beings or animals, we need food for energy. Energy, why do we need energy? We need energy to perform the different activities of life, like running, walking, talking, eating food. All these activities require energy, and the energy comes from the consumption of the food. And the process of taking of food, okay, the process of consumption of food to release energy to carry out the different metabolic activities of life is called as the nutrition. Okay, so the process of consumption of food to release energy is called as nutrition, and this nutrition is not found in the non-living things like a chair, table, an aeroplane. It does not require food. Yes, there are aeroplane or the car or motorcycle, they require fuel in the form of petrol or diesel, but that's not considered as food. Okay, because food, the food we eat say milk products, meat products, or vegetables we eat, they themselves are the source or are a product of the living things. Okay, but and the car, the aeroplane, they require the external energy. That's the external energy we provide them. That's the fuel or the petrol. But the energy we endure ourselves with the food. Okay, that energy is provided internally, not externally. Like we do not go to a petrol pump and tell the dealer there that fill us with the petrol because petrol is going to give us energy. No, it will not give us energy. Yes, it may give energy to the car or the motorcycle, but not the living things. Okay, so we require food to release energy to carry out the different metabolic activities of the life. Okay, and next characteristic found in the living organisms is the respiration. Respiration itself is of two kinds. It is breathing, and number second, internal respiration. Breathing is intake of oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide. Breathing is intake of oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide. This is called as breathing. It is only found in living things. Number second is internal respiration. Internal respiration is an extension of the breathing. Means the oxygen we took in, the oxygen we took in during breathing is used to metabolize the food, is used to break down the food to release energy. Okay, the oxygen we took in during breathing is used to break down the food to release the energy so that we can carry out different activities of life like running, talking, walking, eating food, sleeping, writing, reading. Okay, so these all activities, they require energy, and the energy is provided by the breakdown of the food. And how is food broken? Food is broken when we take in the oxygen during breathing. So whether it is breathing or whether it is internal respiration, okay, in a nutshell we can say respiration is only found in the living organisms. Have you ever seen your pen breathing like no, it does not do like that. Only living things or human beings, for example, we are capable of respiration. Okay, next characteristic shown by the living organisms is the excretion. How do we define excretion? We define excretion as the process of removal of waste products from our body is called excretion. The process of removal of waste products from our body is called excretion. Like when we inhale the oxygen, we give out the carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is a waste product. Carbon dioxide is a waste product. And sweating is also a waste product. In any way, the process of removal of the waste products from our body is called as the excretion. And this excretion is only found in the living beings, not in the non-living things. There is no waste product produced by the chair or table. Why? Because they do not consume food, right? Excretion will be done by only those things which are taking in the food. Since table and chair, they're not taking in any food, so it's supposed that they're not going to give any waste product. But human beings, we consume food, so it's very likely that we are going to give out the excretory products in the form of carbon dioxide, excess water, salt, sweat, etc. Okay. And second next characteristic of the living things is the movement. Means all living things are capable of movement. For example, you see the tiger. A tiger is running after the deer. Okay, because deer is its prey and tiger is the predator. Okay, the one who eats is the predator, and one who is getting eaten is the prey. So tiger is the predator and deer is the prey. What I'm trying to impose here is that tiger requires movement to follow its prey. So it is running after the prey. So have you ever seen a table running after a table or a chair or a bicycle? No, it does not run. Why? Because chair is a non-living thing and tiger is a living thing. Similarly, plants also show movement. although plants do not move from one place to the other place, but you see that their roots their roots are continuously growing in the search of water and minerals. And you see those leaves, they grow in every spring, they come out in every spring. Okay, and you also see that the stem of a tree is following the direction of the light. So it is growing in the direction of the light. So we can say that only living things are capable of movement and non-living things are not capable of movement. And next characteristic shown by the living things is the response to stimuli. Response to stimuli. What is stimuli? Any internal or external change, any internal or external change in the environment is called as the stimuli. Okay. For example, if we step on a hot object like an iron rod, suppose this marker is an iron rod, and we by mistake we stepped on it barefoot, what do? We immediately withdraw our hand or feet. We immediately withdraw our hand. Why? Because this iron rod, it provided a stimuli, and the withdrawal of our hand is the response. So, and this characteristic is only shown by the living organisms. If you put a hot iron rod on a chair, is the chair going to withdraw itself from the iron rod? No. Why? Because it is not capable of stimuli. Stimuli, response to stimuli is a characteristic of only the living things. Similarly, you see that you see the gravitropism. Gravitropism in case of the plants. Gravitropism means the roots are growing in the direction of the soil. Roots are not growing in the direction of the light. No, roots are growing only in the direction of the soil. This is called gravitropism. So we can say that the soil is the stimuli, and the growing of the root towards the soil is the response. Okay, soil is the stimuli, and the growing of the roots towards the soil is the response. So we can say that the response to stimuli is a characteristic of only living things. It is not present in the non-living things. Okay. Okay. And next characteristic shown by the living things is that they have a definite lifespan. They have a definite lifespan. What is lifespan? Lifespan is the time between the birth and death. Suppose human beings, when we took birth, like I took birth on 1st December 1991. Okay, and suppose God forbidden, I will die in 2021. So you can calculate from 1991 to 2021. It's almost 30 years. So my lifespan is 30 years. Okay. So the average lifespan, I'm not talking about the accidents, like someone may die by the heart attack or a car accident. No, the average lifespan means the natural death when happens to human beings. Okay, the average lifespan of human beings is 60 to 70 years. Like 60 to 70 years is the average lifespan of human beings. Is the average lifespan from the birth to the death is 60 to 70 years in case of the human beings. However, some human beings may grow as long as 100 years or 100 plus years. I want to say 110, 120 years. Like there's a place in Japan. Okay, the people they have the longest lifespan. The people there, they grow around 110 years. Okay, but in Asia and the Middle East countries, the average lifespan of human beings is around 60 to 70 years. Okay, similarly, elephant has also 50 to 70 years lifespan. Bacterium has only 20 minutes. Okay, this elephant has 50 to 7. Tortoise has 150 to 200 years. Banyan tree has 200 years. So we can say that living beings, they have a definite lifespan, and this lifespan varies between species to species. Like human beings, we are one kind of species. Elephants is second. Okay, ants are third. Okay, so this lifespan varies between species to species. And while as non-living things do not have any lifespan, like this marker it is never going to grow. It is never going to grow. It is never going to grow. It's never going to die. Okay, so this marker is a non-living thing. while I took birth and I will also die one day. So I have a definite lifespan. And the last characteristic, but not the least, shown by the living organisms is the reproduction. What is reproduction? Reproduction is a process by which the parents give birth to their offspring. Like your parents gave birth to you, my parents gave birth to me. So we can say that we are a product of reproduction by our parents, right? So, and this reproduction is only found in the living things. It is not found in the living things. Like this marker, it's a non-living thing. It never married someone. It never reproduced. It's not going to give us baby markers. No, it's not going to give us. But we took birth because of our parents, and someday we may also have children like us, right? So we can say that human beings are capable of growth. Living beings are capable of growth, and this growth is not present, is not found in the non-living things. So this is all about today's video lecture about the very first chapter in your syllabus, that is life on Earth. I hope you understood it fully, and if you have any problem, any difficulty in understanding any topic related to this chapter, you can text in our WhatsApp group, or you can talk to the administration about this. So thank you for watching me. Have a great day ahead.